In this video, I'm going to share with you my simple 6-step system that's going to help you easily understand and apply music theory so that you can learn and write songs faster, communicate with other musicians easier, and finally start to unlock the fretboard. I've used theory to write hundreds of songs, which led to opportunities like playing Ozfest, Billboard charting success, and being able to help other musicians achieve their goals using music theory. All with my system that I call the building blocks of music. But before we get into this, be sure to download your free PDF workbook, Guitar Level Up. It's going to have all the tabs and charts so that you can follow along to this 6-part training. There's 6 lessons, so be sure to follow and subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. Step 1 is building the foundation. Every skyscraper in New York, every massive structure you see towering over the city starts the same way, with a rock-solid foundation. And music is no different. So these 13 boxes represent 13 notes that I call the building blocks of music theory. Each block gets a note, and we're going to start with C, going through the musical alphabet all the way up to C again. The musical alphabet has 12 notes. But we have 13 blocks, so we end up where we started again. Step 2 is the C major scale. We're going to start with the almighty C major scale because it has no sharps and no flats. It is the most important scale in all of music because all of theory is derived from its formula. So for the time being, we're going to ignore the boxes with a sharp or a flat, and what we have left are the notes to the C major scale, or said in a different way, the notes in the key of C major. So step 3 is the interval formula. Like I just mentioned, the C major scale has the formula that unlocks all of theory. So now I'm going to give each one of these boxes a number, starting with C being 1, D being 2, E being 3, and so forth. This is the intervallic formula for the major scale. So we could say from the first interval to the second interval is a whole step. From C to D is a whole step. And the second interval to the third interval is a whole step. From D to E is a whole step. And what do we have? From our third interval to our fourth interval is only a half step. There we have our E to F. And so forth. Continuing up, 4th to 5th interval is a major step or a whole step. 5th to 6th interval is a whole step. 6th to 7th interval is a whole step. And now, 7th to 8th, back to our root, is a half step. Memorize this, because in the future, we will manipulate the formula by moving one or more of the notes a half step up or a half step down. This is how we change keys. But for now, we just need to master the key of C. Step 4 is building chords. If you haven't downloaded the free workbook, do so now so that you can follow along. Now that we know our formula, we can start to actually use it. Let's take a look at the notes that make up the C major chord, which are C, E, and G. That's our 1, 3, 5 intervals of our scale, also known as a triad. But let's say we're learning a song that has the C major 7 chord. What does that mean? Well, we just figured out the formula to the C major triad, which is 1, 3, 5, also C, E, G. So to make our C major 7th chord, all we're going to do is add the 7th note of the C major scale to that chord, which happens to be B. So now I have C, E, G, B. Played all at the same time. The beautiful C major 7. This is how we start to build chords and learn new chords. Step 5 is learning the chords to the C major scale. So, we already learned all the notes, right? Now, you might know these open chords already, and we have our 1 chord, C major, our 2 chord, D minor, our 3 chord, E minor, our 4 chord, F major, 5 chord is G major, 6 chord is A minor, 7th chord is B minor 7 flat 5, and then we come back home to our C chord. Now, one student recently asked me, why is there a D minor chord, a minor chord, in the C major scale? What's up with that? Great question. So the reason that there's minor chords in our C major key is because those notes are still no sharps and no flats that make up that chord. So, real quick, the notes to D minor are D, F, and A. Those still fit within this key of C major, right? No sharps, no flats. Now, if I had a D major chord, I would have an F sharp in there, and it would no longer be in the key of C. But I digress. For now, just digest the numerics and learn it as the 1 chord, which is major, 2 chord minor, 3 chord minor, 4 chord major, 5 chord major, 6 chord minor, and our special sophisticated 7th chord, which will be minor 7 flat 5, if you will. Step 6 is apply it. Everything that I teach you guys, I want you to be able to apply it. So it's not just theoretical, it's applicable. So if you're writing a song in C major, now you know all the chords that you can rely on. So you're not just guessing. All these chords are designed to harmonically connect to each other. And if you're learning a song, study how those songwriters use the key of C major and the chords within it to create tension and dynamics, which are vital to hit songs. So here's your homework. Write a chord progression in C major. Use that formula and then figure out what the numerics to your chord progression are. So for instance, if we were going to go C major, F major, G major, C major, the chord progression would be a 1, 4, 5, right? Because C is the first note of the scale, F is the 4th note of the scale, and G is the 5th note of the scale. So that's why it's a 1, 4, 5 chord progression. That's your homework for songwriting. Now, your other homework is to analyze a popular song in the key of C major and figure out its numeric progression. So for instance, if we're learning the Beatles, Let It Be, we got C major, G major, A minor, F major. So what is that? That's a 1, 5, 6, 4 chord progression. A powerful and commonly used chord progression. Listen, if we can't make a great song with the key of C major, then there's no use in going on, right? Although this is just the tip of the iceberg, this is your foundation to build your skyscraper of theory knowledge, block by block. And I'll help you lay those blocks down even further in the 6 Pillars to Guitar Mastery course, the complete system designed to make you the confident musician you were always meant to be. And we go over not only theory, but technique, ear training, soloing, rhythm, composition, and applying it all to the fretboard. So check that out, I left the link in the description below. But speaking of applying it to the fretboard, that's exactly what we're going to do in this next lesson, where I'm going to teach you the C major chord, scale, arpeggio, and octave shape of the first position. This is critical to tie in all of this information onto the fretboard.